official video. I am getting back into the cooking aspect of my channel. Today, I just want to go over some basic things. This is for anybody 17, 27, 112. Maybe not that old, but anybody that's really interested in learning how to cook, starting your own basic kitchen, just really what you need to know. If you're the type of person that can burn water, this is where you start. I'm just going to walk you through some of the basic things that you need to have in the kitchen to just start your kitchen. We're going to start with basics and just go from there. And you can just kind of, you can start on a small budget, work your way up. There's a few things that I really recommend you go high end on, but we'll get to that. So we're just going to dive into it, and you can't always see it, but because I have a small kitchen, but I make do. That's the thing. If you have a small kitchen, if I can make do, you can make do. And one of the first things you can see is my knife rack. This is what I want to actually start with. This is actually very important. This magnetic strip mounts your knives, go right in and off. And this is especially important if you're a single mom or single dad like me, and you want little ones to stay away from very sharp objects. I've had this since my daughter was about 4 or 5 years old, and she could not get to it. It's wonderful. They go for about $11, $15, so very cost effective, but lasts forever. So I'm going to start out with, this is a boning knife right here. This is an excellent boning knife. This one is Dexter. Got this. You can go to your local supply stores. They're big stores. You can buy all the things you need in the kitchen, and that's where I got this. This one. This is a good one. This was a little over $20, so this is excellent. Great for fish, just fine cutting fillets and things like that. Next one is one of my favorites, is a bread knife. And honestly, this one is a very cheap Farberware, but it's, Farberware is good. It's not the most high end, but yeah, this is great for sandwiches and sometimes, hard, slices of meat. If you keep it sharp enough, slices of meats are great. So that's a good one. And chef's knives. You must have a chef's knife. These are awesome. This one's also a Farberware. I had this one for a very long time. This one's newer. This is a Thomas. This is a great knife. I like the metal handles because they're clean, they're efficient. They don't crack or anything. Like, these are good. I like the weight on this one and this one. These both stay very sharp. So once again, keep that up and away. But I like the metal ones, and these each cost about $50, $60. So it's the investment. If you keep a great knife, it'll last a long time. An essential cleaver. Get yourself a good quality cleaver. This one is actually unbranded. I found that online. I was in quarantine and I needed a cleaver. This is a half weight cleaver, so it's great because you can mash stuff, you can slice, you can do chicken, you can do beef, you can do all kinds of stuff. But this is one of the most invaluable tools you can have in your kitchen. Get yourself one of these. Get a cleaver. All right, moving on. That's utensils. Well, we're gonna do some more utensils. One thing I recommend is getting a good zester, a great zester, because these are awesome because you can use that on lemons and limes and fruit, but you can stick your chocolate in the freezer and shred it, for garnish and whatnot. There's a lot of things you can do with good quality grater. This one is a high quality one that I got at a distribution place, very big place down from where I live. So that's excellent. Ice cream scoop, more diverse than you think. A good metal one is not just for ice cream, but you can do lemon balls, and you can just scoop different stuff. And if you're trying to hollow out like a pumpkin or any kind of melon, that's really amazing. Get your carrot slicer. You can use this for a lot of different things. I'm going to cover this in another video coming up on some of the basic cooking techniques. And I am not a professional chef. I have cooked since I was young, and but I actually have worked in several restaurants as a sous chef, never a chef. So this is all practical stuff, but that's great to have. This is really important, is to get one of your little basters. And this is great because, you know, sauces and things like that, melted butter on things, you can just spread it easily. And this one is it's rubber, so it won't tear up too much. That's a metal handle, so that's great. Love those. Really important. Get yourself a pair of kitchen scissors. These are not these most expensive, but you know, you can always get a little hidden sharpening yourself if you want to. When you go on high end, you can do that. But you know, these are also great. In here is good for cracking nuts. Most people don't know that, but you can just, or crab legs. You can actually crack crab legs that way, but you can also hurt yourself. You don't want to do that. Okay, this right here, this is so important. This one was, I don't remember the brand name, but these are great because you can scoop up stuff. You know, that's really most of what it is a scoop, especially if you have a lot of veggies on your cutting board, which, by the way, you can't see it, but I'll get to it. A cutting board is one of the most important things, but one of these is amazing. And age-of technology, yes, but a good set of can opener. This is KitchenAid. This is great because what if your power goes out and you need to open those cans of tuna or something, or soup? Invaluable to have just a good hand crank, and that's really amazing. This is one of my favorite tools, tenderizer. I love a good tenderizer. It doesn't have to be super expensive, as long as it's. I recommend steel because you can tenderize, you can flatten, and just it's a pretty diverse tool. And one thing I do is I'll take frozen chocolate in the bag and smack it up. Just put it on the ice cream treat. So okay, one thing I'm going to do is move all of this up here. Oh, before I do that, this for apples and pears, it actually works on pears if they're not too squishy. It actually works, but this is really great to have, especially if kids. And one of my favorite snacks for my daughter is just apples, a little bit of honey, and she just gobbles that up, just loves that. So that's pretty. This is not a necessity, but good apple slicer is excellent. But you also want a good quality cutting board. This is important. I get mine Walmart, but but it's a great one. You want to spend $20 to $40 at least on a good solid cutting board, because the thick board ones, they actually attract less bacteria. That's a fact. Don't take my word for it. Look that up. But they do. And if you've accidentally left it on the stove, which I know I have, it melted right at the bottom. But the wood will scorch, but if you catch it, get it off. So very important to have a cutting board. Okay, measuring cup. Have a measuring cup, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, look at me. All right, connected. This keeps you from messing up because this shows you exactly the measurements that you need. And it, if you're using a recipe you've never done before, this will keep the measurements exact. So please go out and spend $10 and get a measuring cup. This will be invaluable. So leading on to these little cups, smaller measuring cups, because I keep this one, the cup measure. And by the way, yes, these are multicolored. I got these. I love these, but a good set of these really is amazing. And actually, I have a whole set because I have the smaller tablespoons and teaspoons. This is invaluable too. And I got these all together. This came all together. So yeah, but I love my spatula. See, it's the same color as this. Yes. And that leads me to my rack right here. This rack is amazing because I was running out of space. And I found this. This was, I don't know, about $12, but it holds all my stuff. See? It's really amazing. Oops. What you can find when you look for it. But yeah, that rack is amazing. I've got my tongs right there. I have, the whisks. Whisks are really good to have. I mean, that's just amazing. Here's another thing. Olive oil. And honestly, this came from Dollar Tree. I don't care where you find it, as long as you find it and it's good, because I just keep my olive oil at all times. You never know when you're going to need it. My ladle, love a ladle. This one, it came from the same supply store as my knife and a few other things. Ladles are important, especially if it's hot. You can go down to here where the liquid's here. You're not hurting your hand. You're not scorching your hand, especially if it's bubbling. So that's important to remember. One of the most important, especially for moms, scare your kids. No, I'm just kidding. No, don't scare your kids. But a rolling pin is really, really amazing. It's such a great tool. And if you don't have tenderizer, chicken, beef, whatever, it's a really awesome tool to have. So that's an amazing thing. One of my favorite things in my bulk kitchen is the cheese grater, because you use the teeny one for like Parmesan. You can use the slicer for different fruits and vegetables and things like that. It makes them really pretty. This guy, as you can see, that is the groove right there. This one I don't use very much. These are hard. If you really know what you're doing, you can do that. But the big one right here, and that's for big shred cheese and stuff like that. But I use this. I've been using this all the time, and you can just put it right on a plate, start shredding, and it's easy to clean. It's an amazing tool. So okay, here we go. Pot with a lid. If you get at least one, and yes, I just dropped it. But if you can see it, got a little hole right there. See? So you can put it right on top, and you can blanch, you can boil, you can do so many things with a good pan. Get yourself a good pan. This was a Walmart special, so, but it's great. And colander. Colanders are wonderful. Very cool. I like this one because you can see, you can just hang it right off the edge of your sink and do your noodles and pull right up and use it. I love it. I've had this one for a couple of years now, and but this, if you want to do some great at-home cooking, get yourself a wonderful pizza cooker. The thing is if you're going to make homemade pizza, you have to put this in the oven for at least half an hour at about 450, 500 degrees to get that nice crispy bottom. A lot of people don't know that, but it takes more time, but it's so worth it in the end. All right, and in that vein, always good to have flat metal pan. You can get a solid or with holes in it. It's up to you. If you have more messy stuff, it's better off to have a solid one. But if more dry cooking, solid's okay. And I have a bunch of these. I just wanted to show these. These are amazing. Get a rack. Because actually right now, as we speak, I'm making salmon jerky in my oven. And it's absolutely incredible. In fact, making salmon jerky. Look at that. It smells so good. Now, I'm going to turn that, but I make salmon jerky. It's amazing. You can use it right in your oven. Good stuff. I just had to show that. So that's the basic stuff. One last thing that everybody should have: food processor. You can get your hands on a good food processor. This one I bought a few years ago, and what you can do is you take the top off, and it has where you can put in the vegetables. Do that, and they're not hard to use at all, but he doesn't want to come off. That's okay. But you get a good food processor, you're going in the right direction. I mean, this one was about $40, $50, something like that, so not terribly expensive, but great to have. All right, and that's about it. That's my first video on all this. This is all the basic stuff that you can find at your local store. If you can find a distribution center, a big place where they sell a lot of restaurant supply things, that's great. So that's it. This is what I use myself, and Like I said, the things that you really want to spend on are your knives. Your knives are really where you're going to be at. Any professional chef could tell you, if you ask them, knives are really where you don't want to cut corners. Everything else, it depends on what your budget is, and you can build from later. But your knives are one of your best assets in the kitchen, besides a love for cooking. So, all right, that's it for my video. I hope you enjoy. Just let me know what you thought about this, and if you liked it, and if it was total hocus pocus. But I hope you really enjoyed this. This is lots of fun. So we will see you later. Stay hungry, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye, guys.